Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Howdy, Poppy.
Hello, Peg.
Good to see you. Making her Steppin Out debut, Fatima Shaik, all the way from Manhattan, author of the new book, Economy Hall, The Hidden History of a Free Black Brotherhood, published by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Welcome to our show, Fatima. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. And returning for the second time here, I'm so glad, composer, guitarist, bandleader Tree Adams, who composed the music for NCIS New Orleans for many seasons. He also has his own band and a new CD, and we'll be talking about all of that. Welcome back, Tree. Good to see you. And Alan Smason of TheaterCriticism.com and the Crescent City Jewish News. Hey, Alan.
Hi.
Poppy, an update from the Sazerac house.
Oh, so much going on this last week and continuing through this weekend. The Sazerac house is celebrating Sazerac Week. Of course, that's the drink of New Orleans, the official drink of New Orleans. And those incredibly generous people. Admission's always free at the Sazerac house, but if you visit through Sunday, $1 per person will be donated to the New Orleans Musicians Clinic, along with $1 of every bottle sold from the shop and 10% of the sales of the Sazerac Week commemorative merchandise. So what a good deed they're doing. And if Sazerac Week wasn't enough, it's also still Restaurant Week this week, and Restaurant Week continues through Sunday. And of course, that means 2-course lunches for $25 or less, and 3-course dinners or brunches for $45 or less. And I thought that everybody might like a little scoop about where I would like to dine. And I'll tell you what, it is really hard to dine at GW Finn's for $45.
Yes.
This is an incredible deal. And the menu choices, how about snapper breast with crispy noodles? There's a chanterelle opening dish. That's the chicken crackling crusted drum with whipped vanilla parsnips, green beans, shiitakes, pecans, and a brown butter on top. And then also another favorite, it is time to go back and visit these treasures. Patois, way uptown on Laurel Street, serving salmon beignets with aioli for a starter, or there's a double cut pork chop or shrimp capellini. Delicious menus, so many temptations. You only have till Sunday to take advantage of it.
May I just say, because to speak from experience, you got to make a reservation, okay? If you think you're going to show up, because, you know, during the summer, usually it's fairly quiet, and so people would think it's easy. But because with less staff, you really do have to make a reservation. So
yes,
that's my advice. But thank you so much. And moving over to Fatima. Fatima, of course, you have long been writing fiction, but now your first work of nonfiction, and I am so excited about this book. And tell us how it came to be in terms of, we're so lucky and we have to credit your dad, don't we?
Yes, I've been working on the book for about 20 years, but it was my dad who found the journals on which the book is based. He found 24 journals handwritten by the men of the Economy Society, and I was able to read those journals and then start the book from there.
Well, and of course, we should remind folks, you know, there are a lot of fraternal organizations in New Orleans and elsewhere, but this is an organization where folks would come together, and this would be primarily free people of color, Fatima? this organization?
These were free people
Yeah.
of color, yes, before the Civil War. And when I started
Amazing.
reading the book, I found out that they started in 1836, and the names that I saw and the places that they went, these were probably the most prosperous and influential free people in the United States before the Civil War.
And we're talking about primarily in the Treme area. We have some images, some historic images that we're also going to show. But fraternal organizations, look at this. Unfortunately, that building, thanks to Hurricane Betsy, no longer stands. That was a very important building. We're going to tell you about the jazz connection a little bit later. But coming together, and everybody, I guess, would pay dues, which would mean that if a fellow member had hard times, you would help them, wouldn't you? That's the goal of a fraternal group, isn't it?
Exactly. They would take care of health. If someone got sick, they would pay the doctor bills. If someone died, they would pay the burial bills, and they would give the widow and the family some money.
And
So they mainly took care of them.
Yes, and this gentleman, of course, look at the wonderful signature. He was the secretary. He was the one who kept the minutes. Is that correct? For many years?
Well, he was one of the secretaries. But he was one of the best secretaries, in my opinion, because his handwriting was so beautiful. And he also gave a contents for every meeting. So he'd number the events 1 to 10 maybe, and tell you what was coming up in the meeting. So he was one of the best secretaries, to me.
To let you know once again that the book is available, of course, bookstores, but also the Historic New Orleans Collection, wonderful gift shop. But you can go online and get more information at hnoc.org. But congratulations, and we'll talk more in just a few minutes. But the amount of work, was everything in French?
It was in French until about 1926.
Wow.
So,
So that's another reason why it took a
from
while.
1836 to about 1926 in French. They started mixing French and English in about 1914. 1926, it went strictly English.
Oh, my goodness. Well, great. Well, we'll touch base in just a few minutes. Thank you. And it's great to have you. And I'm glad you could be with
Thanks.
us today, too. Back
Nice
over
to
to
meet
Tree. Tree, my goodness. I am sorry that NCIS New Orleans is wrapped up, but for quite a few seasons, you were really doing your thing to very much support local musicians because you'd write the music, but you were employing locals, weren't you?
Yes, indeed. That was the goal. And it was a great honor and a privilege to get to come down here and be sort of an emissary of the culture and meet people and, try and bridge the world of Los Angeles and the filmmaking that was going on there with what's happening here. And got to make a lot of really good friends and learned an enormous amount. And
Yeah.
it's been wonderful.
Well, I understand you wrote your first song at age 7, so your list of accomplishments. I very much enjoyed the Belushi documentary. Hadn't realized that you had done the music for that. And the 100, CW's 100, the list is long. You've been keeping pretty busy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this film and TV music thing for about 25, 30 years. And prior to that, I was a touring musician for 10 years,
Well, tell us about your band and the unique name of your band.
Well, you know how band names sometimes they kind of fall out of the sky and land on your head. So this the band is called Dagnasterpus, and the Dagnasterpus is a mythical creature of sorts. You can see it right there. It's basically a mix of the sea god Poseidon, an octopus, and maybe the Buddha. And he has sort of a peaceful countenance, and also, someone that you might want to hang out with for a little while.
Well, you've got that brand new CD, and of course, you also have a good Facebook page with all kinds of information. And when we come back, you're going to sing a song. And so we're thrilled about that. And we'll see you in just a moment. But now let's move over to Alan. Alan, give us the theater update, kiddo.
Well, you can see behind me, it's time for Summer Lyric. Tonight is opening night for Summer Lyric's season. The first time in 2 years that they're going to have a show on stage at Dixon Hall. And the good news is that Diane Lala, the divine Diane Lala, is not only the choreographer but the director of this production, which stars some amazing singing stars as well. I want to talk a little bit about this show because it really is culled from the golden age of Broadway. Rodgers and Hammerstein's, it's a grand night for singing. It only has really 4 more shows. The Dreamcast is nothing short of amazing. Singing is superb, headed up by veterans and a few newcomers. This night of Rodgers and Hammerstein's music, again, is some of their most beloved songs from most of their well-known productions. Katie Howell, John McElhass are two of the veterans there who share several scenes from Surrey with the Fringe on Top, from Oklahoma and others. Rachel Looney, who you'll see in a little bit, is singing as clear as a bell. She soars above the wings of birds, as it were. A wonderful addition to the cast. Kevin Murphy and Chase Kamada add their sublime voices to the mix. With Eric Shawn, just seen but not as prominently heard in Songs for a New World recently. He is a great dancer as well. He's the dance captain on this. And Jefferson Turner leads a small but really extremely capable ensemble of players. He plays multiple instruments. For those who just want to enjoy a night out of singing and beautiful song and dance across a stage with multiple duets, trios, quartets, quintets, and a full sextet throughout the night. This will be a show not to disappoint. Beautiful arrangements. Please check it out by Jonathan Tunick and Michael Gibson. For instance, some of the songs that are done by the females were really originally done by males and vice versa. As an example, Honey Bun by Kevin Murphy was originally sung by Mary Martin in South Pacific on stage and Mitzi Gaynor in the film. So check it all out. A grand night for singing at Dixon Hall. You'll love it, because this may be one of the few shows like this remaining for the season. Jesus Christ Superstar is up next after this one. Meanwhile, Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts has unveiled its season subscriptions, and it's going to be on a 3 basis, if you will. How many shows that you want. You have a package of 3 shows, 7, 6, or 5 shows. So here's the full package. Hello, Dolly, which of course is going to be directed by Ricky Graham. Cabaret to be directed by Bryce Slocum. And then Elf, the musical, to be directed by Gary Rucker. That's all in 2021. And then in 2022, Rucker will direct Nonsense 2, then follow up with the revival of The Drowsy Chaperone. And then Kelly Fushi slated to direct Matilda in May. And finally, the last version, which you won't get in the 6 or the 5 show package, is going to be Mary Poppins, also to be directed by Ricky Graham. So depending on what package you pick, the shows will be less each. But, of course, the subscriptions will be more for the more shows that you get. So check that out again at Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts. You have the phone number there or their website. They just unveiled this, so get in line and check that out at Rivertown.
All right. Thank you, Alan. I love Cabaret. I never get enough of that show. Back over to Poppy with a MoPho update.
Well, if you haven't gotten your MoPho fix lately, I just want you to know you can get it 7 days a week now. They're serving lunch and dinner again 7 days a week. And the chef de cuisine, Paul Schell, he's so talented. And there are some amazing new dishes that I tried on the menu. There's MoPho queso, which is a coconut milk queso with Lao sausage, with roti bread, shrimp crisps, salted radishes, and cucumbers. I mean, that just says Michael Galata all over it. What he does with red beans and rice is crazy, too. Now, this is dessert. I never paid much attention to dessert at MoPho. This was a matcha shortcake with fresh peach chutney and Rom House Creole cream cheese ice cream. Do not miss dessert at MoPho. Save room. Yum. And, of course, Michael is down at Maypop downtown also now. Thank goodness. Then those friends of ours at Arnaud's, they are so clever. We all missed a lot of holidays last year. So they have a suggestion, Christmas in July. Throughout the entire month of July, this is for private dining only. Lunch is at $80, $110 for dinner. This is 3 courses complete with alcohol. Like at lunch, you get a bottomless beverage package that includes white wine, champagne, rosé, Bloody Marys. Dinner, there's shrimp Arnaud, crab and corn bisque, Gulf fish almondine. And the dinner menu, name brand liquors and wines and champagnes. Even beer for Grandpa who really wants a beer at Christmas dinner. Lots of folks have one.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And back over to Fatima. And one thing that we have to point out, because of the chronicling of so many years with this organization, with Economy Hall, was that a lot of the gentlemen involved and the members were so much a part of history, weren't there? We've got some images to show that too. But I mean, you're getting their unique perspective of what was going on in New Orleans at the time, huh?
Yes, you really are. Some of the members were members of the Battle of New Orleans. Some were men who had fought in the Civil War. You had some Reconstruction politicians. We went all the way up to Walter Coyne, who was one of the politicians near the end of the century. But I think you have Alexander Cailleur's funeral there. The Economy members participated in that funeral.
Yeah, and so rich and so much great information. Now, fast forwarding, though, to, I guess, the 1940s and 50s, well, actually from the 20s, but this rich pre-jazz and then jazz heritage, too, that the building of Economy Hall was the place for dances for many of the members, wasn't it?
It really was. Well, the building went up in 1857, and they were dancing the quadrille and things like that, back then. But by the turn of the century, jazz started to take over, the very early strains of jazz, so that you saw by about 1910, maybe about 1918, 1919, you saw Kid Ory and Louis Armstrong and Joe Oliver playing in Economy Hall.
And let us point out that not only we're talking about the book, but you will be very much a part of a special program on Sunday, which is free. You just have to sign up for it. And God bless the Louisiana Creole Research Association, because you just go to theirs, and hopefully we'll go back maybe to the full screen show where you can sign up. But it's from 3 to 4:30, and you're in really good company. LaCreole.org. Easy enough. But you, Fatima, you and Dr. Michael White, the jazz historian, Don Vappy, the wonderful banjo player, Javona Joseph, the opera singer. Wow.
And Mark Rudney, who is the ancestor of the Tribune editor.
Yes, absolutely. So you all will put all your heads together and share your wisdom about this incredible compilation. My hat is off to you. 20 years, you said? 20 years?
20 years of behind the computer.
But it wasn't just, recording what was in the ledger, going after the history of some of these folks. You wanted to know more, didn't you?
Well, I had to find out more, because sometimes the men would put something in, "We can't believe what happened yesterday."
So what was that, right?
Right, what was that? So I had to go to newspapers and lots of archives to find out what actually went on.
Wow. Well, congratulations, and I heartily recommend this book. And we'll see you in just a moment to hear more about you. And let's then right now go over to Tree. And Tree, you're going to sing us a song. Tell us about the name of the song and go on down.
Sounds good. This is a song called "Change It Up" that I wrote about a period of my life when I felt like making a change, and there it was.
Proceed, sir.
All right. Now I see it's a matter of time for it. Throw down the gauntlet, yeah. Telling the same tall tale. I think I pick up a brand new subject, yeah. Change it up, I've got to shake this haze. Get me out of this dead end maze. I've got lumps from running into all these walls. I think I changed it on love. Change it up, na 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 na. Maybe I could be a cold-blooded killer, a fire-breathing, low-down kryptonite. Change my moves to the IPO shuffle downtown and crank it on up a notch. Yeah, change it up. I got to shake this haze. Get me out of this dead end maze. I've got lumps so running into all these walls. I've got to change it on up. Na 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 na. Into all these
Congratulations. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. And by the way, y'all, Tree was playing at Rock and Roll last night with his band. He plays all different kinds of music. Appreciate your versatility. Thank you so much. And please come back soon, because I know you love New Orleans. And moving back over, there you go, Dagnasterpus. Oh, yes, we have to mention the Philo Festival. Tree, tell us about that. That's a great opportunity to see the band.
Yeah, we're very excited to be part of it. The Philo Festival stands for First In, Last Out, and it's a festival to benefit the venues that have lost revenue during the pandemic and the crew members and all the touring bands, and it's a really good cause. There's a lot of great bands all around the country, local bands as well. I know like Dumpster Funk is part of it. Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead is actually one of the hosts of it. But it's really important to try and help all of the venues and all of the people in the crews who are our brothers and sisters who helped kind of, power this thing over the years, who lost all this revenue during it. So very excited to be part of that. And yeah, that should be, I think, July 10th in the afternoon and evening. They'll be playing it, these performances we did.
All right, so philofestival.com, and you can donate online, too.
Exactly.
So thanks again, Tree.
Thank you.
And back over to Alan, more theater news.
Bob Weir, the man who always said, "Put it on my tab." So let's go on and talk a little bit about a very unusual event. This is sort of a mixture of gaming and live theater, Rockfire Theatre, which includes Kevin Murphy, who we're talking about in the recent production of It's a Grand Night for Singing. He and his partner, Matt Reed, are putting on this Goblins thing, and again, it's at the Always Lounge and Theater. It's called We Hear You Have Goblins, and it's sort of a mixture of a live show, and they're going to mix it all up, and it'll be on Wednesday, June the 30th, $15 at the Always Lounge. Now, I'm going to have them on my show coming up in July, but I want everybody to know that coming up Monday, both Gary Rucker and Ricky Graham will be on to talk about the upcoming season at Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts, and again, that's on the NOLA Theater Talk Show. You'll see it broadcast live streamed on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, theatercriticism.com Facebook page, or on my own YouTube channel. Please check that out. That it's again Monday. We'd love to have as many people in the room as possible. Now, Peggy, in New York, the American Theater Wing and the Broadway League announced several special Tony Awards that will be presented. First of all, the Broadway Advocacy Coalition that was founded several years ago has been a leading voice to improve diversity and fight systemic racism. They're receiving the first award, but then the second award is going to David Byrne's American Utopia. That, of course, on Broadway, about to reopen. And then Freestyle Love Supreme. That's Lin-Manuel Miranda, Christopher Jackson, James Monroe Iglehart, a whole bunch of other people. They're going to be receiving a special award at the special part of the Tonys on Sunday, September the 26th. Don't forget that's going to be on 2 different platforms, both on Paramount Plus and CBS. And by the way, Peggy, if you got a chance to see In the Heights, the film, one of my favorite scenes was seeing Patrick Page from Hadestown on the big screen. And Patrick, of course, who's a great performer, is going to be doing all of the villains of Shakespeare. He recently announced that he's been sober during the pandemic, that he's observed 1 year of sobriety, and this is called All the Devils Are Here from the Shakespeare Theater. It's going to be $25. You got a 72-hour pass to see it all, and I think it's going to be fantastic. And then, Peggy, not for the kids. I have to remind everybody, this is Broadway Bears, not Broadway Cares, but it is the Broadway Cares group. Broadway Bears Twerk from Home. This is actually a group that's raised more than $350,000, and
Wow.
it's really home videos that have been submitted by the Broadway stars. And again, not for the kids. Check it out on BroadwayCares.org. I'm not going to tell you the exact link because I don't want the kids to find it out.
Okay. All right, Alan, thank you. Now time for our picks of the week. All right, Miss Poppy, first up.
We figured out how to squeeze just a few more seats in. And so there are just a couple of spots left for the first ever Poppy's Pop-Up Drag Brunch back at Tujak's this Sunday. It's going to be very special, so grab a seat quick.
Fatima, how can we learn more about you?
Well, my website, I think, is Fatima Shaik, FATIMASHAIK.com, and you can read about the books that I've written and a little bit about my past.
Okay, thank you
bio.
so much. Delighted to have you. And Tree, how about you?
Well, there's treeadams.com, and there's, Dagnasterpus is on Facebook and on Instagram.
All right.
And that's it.
Very good. Alan.
Fatima, I don't know whether or not you're related to the famous Sheikh of Araby, but just was wondering. Listen, I got to ask you your indulgence. Sarah Brightman, who everybody remembers the first Christine Daae, Phantom of the Opera, and the former wife of Andrew Lloyd Webber, she's going to be coming to New Orleans for the very first time that I know of at the Sanger Theatre right around Christmas time with a Christmas show called The Christmas Symphony. Check it out. It'll be December the 21st. I'll see you at the theater.
Alan, the whole notion of the Sanger reopening, hoo-hoo, couldn't be more exciting.
I can't wait.
I'm telling you. Now my pick, blues guitarist Little Freddie King returns to BJ's Bywater Dive Bar this Saturday night at 7 p.m., 4301 Burgundy. That's at Lesseps. And we're thrilled because he is quite the fixture there, and it's been a while. Thank you all so very much for being with us tonight, and thank you for watching. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.